Yo, son, take a look at that.
Man, what is that?
It's a predatory profiteer, my brother. In the flesh. A vulture shark that have poisoned our people and destroyed our worlds. Fake civil leaders, vultures, and bottom feeders, false seers, and light breaking white beaters all trying to cash in on you.
Media hyper, porno stripes, and steal your rights and fill your nights with silent lights. Untrue. You see, I know the man, I heard his plan, he speaks the truth with words greater and straighter than anyone can, so tell me, flyboy, can you?
Wait, stop. I got something to say. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are on the face of the planet. This is Double A. This segment, a story of an event in my life that sticks out in my mind from time to time, and not so much as being relevant in the grand scheme of life, but nonetheless just something to share. It was a midsummer's afternoon back in the early 90s, and I had just gotten home from the gym. So I did as I always did at that time. I went to the kitchen to fix me a bite and sat down at the table to contemplate my day. And so as part of my routine, I usually kind of sat there, opened the kitchen door, observing the passers-by and the traffic in the distance. Now, not more than 60 feet from my kitchen door was an old cobblestone alley, and from time to time you'd see people walking up and down, because not too far from there was a park. Well, on this particular day, and aside from the usual kinds of traffic, there were two young girls riding up and down the alleyway. One was pedaling and the other one was sitting on the handlebars, and so they kept going up and down, back and forth, having a great time, just playing and being kids. So I sat there, going through the paper as I always did, when suddenly I heard a tremendous thud, followed by a blood-curdling scream and crying. So I jumped up and rushed out to see what was the matter, to find those two little girls had apparently hit a bump and crashed, except the little girl on the handlebars went head first onto the corner of the curb, and it was pretty awful because she literally split her head open and was bleeding quite profusely. So I run back to the house, grabbed the wireless phone and a towel, and I didn't have any ice, so I grabbed what I had, which was a frozen plastic bottle of soda from the freezer I put there earlier, and I dashed back out to that little girl and held the frozen bottle of soda inside the towel and held it to her head to prevent her brain from swelling and her bleeding to death. Then I, of course, while doing this, called 911. It wasn't long before the ambulance showed up, and of course they jumped out to my relief and took everything over. Just when about that time, down the alleyway comes a screaming woman who takes one look at me and the fact that I'm covered in her daughter's blood and begins wailing on me while screaming all kinds of really harsh racial epithets at me. When about that time, one of the ambulance drivers, who happened to be a woman, intervened and grabbed her by her arm and hollered out, "Lady, this guy didn't hurt your child, he saved her life." And so the mother stopped wailing on me and screaming at me, and just, jumped into the ambulance, and that was it. Well, I never heard anything more. And so for me, this was a pretty all-around bad experience. but definitely a learning experience. And so I think about that little girl from time to time and the events that took place that day. And so it wasn't really about the fact that I was pretty hurt at the time by the mother's reactions to and against me, but, because I understood why. No, you see, for me it was about never really knowing if that little girl whose head I had in my arms was okay. And if at some point in her life she ever knew that on that particular day she had a guardian angel in me. And just a little something I thought I'd share with you. Well, that's all for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for listening to my story. Once again, this is Double A, and I'm out. Wait, stop. I got something to say. I forgot.
Not holy bologna, cheese balls, and macaroni. This dude for real, he ain't no phony. Step up to the plate and ride the pony. Just sit down and listen what this dude told me and show me. If you a real mystic, then listen what I tell you. Hear the great wisdom of this Apollonian father, not some blabbing failure. Yeah, this old dude who picked me up but didn't pass the plate. Let me away from the thugs and drugs and ran my life with debate and hate. He opened the book and I seen the light. Just wake up and open your eyes for real or just say goodnight.